Okay, so for this, I chose the ECG number 8, so rhythm 8. And I have it pulled up on my laptop behind the phone, so I'm gonna be looking on this side. Okay, so the first thing we have is the atrial heart rate. So for this ECG, the atrial heart rate looked regular as the distance between the p values were the same. For the ventricular heart rate, I also said they also are regular as the distance between the R waves are the same distance. So essentially what you have to do is you locate the p-values, and what I did is I get an index card and I line them up to the p-values. The p-value, p wave to the next p wave. I line them up and I mark it like this. And then I go to the other p waves and I use the same two marks, and if they are the same distance, then they are regular. And I did the same thing for the R waves to determine that the ventricular heart rate was regular. So for the rate itself, so what I did for the 6-second strip, so 30 big boxes equals 6 seconds, as 5 big boxes equal 1 second. And you need a 6-second strip, so 30 big boxes. So in the 30 big boxes, I counted 7 P waves, and it's 7 times 10. So for the atrial rate, 7 times 10, 70 BPM. And then in that same big boxes, there are also 7 QRS complexes between those markers, which gave a ventricular rate of 70 BPM as well. So, and then I also used the 1500 method. So I counted 18 small boxes between the R waves, and then I did 1500 divided by 18, which is 83 BPM. So I would say the interval between the R waves is consistent. So the ventricular is regular and the atrial was regular as well. So this is a regular heart rhythm, as the distances between the P value match up and the ventricular match up. So for the P wave duration, each P wave was about 3 small boxes, which is about 0.12 seconds, which is normal for a normal P wave. This is in lead 2. For the morphology, so each P wave was about 2 small boxes in height, which is normal. They shouldn't exceed 2.5. And the P waves were upright. They had a round shape. They have a round shape, so you could say that that's a normal P wave. They don't exceed a 2.5 small boxes in height. And yes. Sorry, just have to see what else I'll look. So for the PRI interval, so this represents the time from the beginning of the P wave to the beginning of the QRS complex. So for ECG8, the PRI interval was consistently 3 small blocks wide. So, and each block is 0.04 seconds. Each small block is 0.04 seconds wide. So the PRI was consistently 0.12 seconds, which is within the normal range. So that was for the PRI interval. Then we have the QRS interval. So to determine the QRS interval, you need to count the number of small squares that the QRS complex spans, and we multiply that by 0.07 seconds. So for ECG8, essentially all of the QRS complexes look the same, and each of them were about 2 small blocks wide, which equals out to 0.08 seconds, which makes them normal in configuration. And as stated before, the rhythm is regular because the distances between the p-value, the distances between the R wave for the ventricular were about the same. For the atrial, the distances between the p-value, p waves were about the same. So I can say that the heart rhythm was regular. Okay, that should be it.